Americans Against Socialism promotes civic education, liberty, and the defense of America's constitutional republic. Today, we face a critical challenge. Wokeism, a growing welfare state, and socialist ideology is gaining popularity and wide acceptance, especially among young people. How do we stop this spread? Education is key. Introducing a classroom-ready primer, The Buried Stories of Communism and Socialism. Illuminating the consequential lessons of history by bridging those lessons with the profound moral case for liberty. It reveals socialism's tyranny, past and present, and contrasts with a philosophical exploration of freedom, as embodied in classical liberal ideology, Western civilization, and the founding principles of the United States Constitutional Republic. In the 20th century, much of the world embraced Marxist ideology that brought millions under the command of such monstrous dictators as Lenin, Stalin, Hitler, Mussolini, Mao, and Pol Pot. Their regimes perpetrated some of the worst atrocities in recorded history, such as the Red Terror, the Holodomor terror famine in Ukraine, the Holocaust, and the Cambodian killing fields. They demonstrate characteristics and patterns that ultimately result in the dehumanization, demoralization, and crimes against humanity, including taking control of mass media and education. These narratives, coupled with heart-wrenching images, highlight the devastating consequences of centralized power, collectivist ideologies, and the systematic erosion of individual freedoms. These tactics reveal how these patterns arose and still persist today under the guise of socialism. It's almost impossible to fully understand the sheer magnitude and scale of the communist and socialist death toll. These regimes killed over 100 million people in the 20th century alone. That's equivalent to the massacre of approximately 1,000 filled stadiums. Surprisingly, many people don't remember that the USSR stands for the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Professor Alan Charles Kors implores, "No cause ever in the history of all mankind has produced more cold-blooded tyrants, more slaughtered innocents, and more orphans than socialism." This short booklet is a classroom-ready primer. It's timely and urgent work that blends historical insight with philosophical reflection and useful resources to create a tool that is engaging, relevant, and practical. It exposes the tactics that lead to tyranny so that we don't repeat them. It's designed for educators, but is accessible to a wide range of readers, including policymakers and concerned citizens. As more states and districts require teaching the history of communism, teenagers will greatly benefit from this relevant overview. Readers will acquire the knowledge necessary to appreciate the brilliance of America's founding fathers, the principles of private property and individual rights required for freedom and American exceptionalism. To support educators and students in understanding these complex topics, the booklet includes several supplementary resources: a glossary of political ideology, an afterword by Lawrence Reed, and a regularly updated curated list of additional recommended resources of books, research, and film for further exploration. Today, over 1.5 billion people live under communist or socialist rule in countries such as Laos, Vietnam, North Korea, Cuba, China, and others. Readers are urged to recommit to the principles of freedom, personal responsibility, and classical liberal ideology as the foundation for a prosperous and just society. It is only through a comprehensive education in history, a profound grasp of the ethical foundations of liberty and free enterprise, and a deep understanding of America's founding principles that we can empower individuals with the wisdom needed to make enlightened choices for human dignity and flourishing. This opportunity for freedom is the very beacon that inspires so many people to immigrate to the United States of America. As educators, parents, students, and community leaders, it's up to us to learn the lessons of history and impart them to the next generation. Otherwise, as Santayana warned, humanity will needlessly plunge into the same deadly pitfalls, which we cannot afford to repeat. Education is the key to preserving freedom. We cannot afford to forget the historical consequences of unchecked government expansion. As Ronald Reagan famously stated, "We didn't pass freedom to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected. Or one day we will tell our children what it was once like in the United States where men were free." Empower yourself and the next generation with the knowledge to defend our constitutional republic. Order your copy of The Buried Stories of Communism and Socialism today on Amazon, or donate copies to schools and local libraries. For bulk orders for groups or classrooms, contact us at americansagainstsocialism.com.